his mother. Well, he doesn't know his Bible because God healed his mother 2,000 years ago. And when you go to crying and begging God to get your mother up off that bed, did you use faith with it, or did you just use head knowledge and go and pray and ask him to do it and then get mad at him when he doesn't do it? And the number one thing you did, because the Bible said if you'd really believed it in your heart and said it with your mouth, it'd come to pass. You see what I'm saying? And we blame God for a lot of things. It's not God's fault. God doesn't do that. And I told him, I said, my wife was 75-year-old. If she'd have died, somebody would have said, God took her. Let me tell you something. God doesn't take any of them. Unless they've done something to deserve death, and then he might send the death angel. And there are some people that sin away their rights. I know a man that I'm talking about right now. Brother Hagin went to pray for him. And God told him, don't pray for him. He's got everything right with me now. He's got all his bills paid, got everything right. Let him alone, let him die. He was in his 60s. He said he'll never have a better time to die. Said, I waited on this man for 35 years to get his life straight. He said he's never lived for me longer than 2 weeks at a time. Now, can you see any of us waiting on a person that long? But yet God waited 35 years. And when the man did get right, God said, now let him come home. The man was sick, so evidently he'd done something that had put him in the bed. But the devil, he didn't know how to believe God. And the devil was trying to kill him, but God realized, let him come on home because he's liable to go back in sin. He'll never have a better time to die. So God will receive like that, but he ain't the killer. He's not the damner. And let me say another thing I heard Brother Robin Bullock say. God said to him one time, said, what do you think is the ugliest cuss word you can think of? He said that would be someone to use God's name in vain and to curse you. And he told him, said, and I hate that. And God said to him, yeah, but I hate it for a different reason. You get mad at that man because he cusses me. Or uses the word God damn. He said, the reason I hate it is because it's a lie. See, how can two walk to agree? That's the reason why America's in the position at the end. They think they're right and they're wrong. And Brother Robin Bullock realized I was wrong. I thought I knew that was right for me to be angry over that. It was, but it's the wrong thing because it's calling God a liar and saying God's the damner, God's the one that kills, God's the one that destroys. But St. John 10:10 said, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And see, this is why that I make these tapes, because I know that the church is not teaching you this. And I started talking to you about the sin that's in the church. Now, we talked about how many people right now it's in the church are living together. How many of them are committing fornication? How many of them are committing adultery? And I'm probably talking to some now. See, this is what God is talking about. Note well, the day I make Israel pay for its sin. Now, God has already said to Brother Robin and to some other people that he's judging the earth right now. But he's not only judging America, he's judging these other countries. You're going to find out when this thing is over with that a lot of the nations have been helping this fraudulent government. And one of the things they said, they're going to try to start a world war. And this is what the prophets are saying there. And you can already hear the rumblings of the sabers. And just yesterday, I think it was, that Putin said he was pulling out of the that ballistic missile treaty, nuclear treaty or whatever. So you're seeing more and more signs of the rumblings of war. And they're trying to turn it into a war because they're losing it. Because if, and I believe this is true, and if Donald J. Trump is in power and is working behind the scenes, and he's got an army working with him. In fact, God said that I have people planted all over the world in these important places. And they've got the evidence, audio and video. And said soon they would be brought forth. What I'm trying to get across to you is we're seeing the same thing right here. And these churches, man, that's heathenistic. To just to set up a church and knowing and using God's house. Remember what Jesus said? And when he took a whip and run all them people out of that church, he said, I said my house would be a house of prayer, but you made it a den of thieves. And see, God is going to judge that.